Snubbed again for a Country Music Award. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on. The choice. Get on. Yeah, Jiaoying Summers back in studio. Always love to speak to her. And Mayhem's here as well. Lots of show planned for you. How you guys doing?
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here.
I have tea to tell you.
You have tea?
I have tea to spit.
Spill it.
Spill it.
Tea to spill means gossip?
Yeah, no, it just I got myself a man. Ish.
Oh, you do?
Ish. He doesn't know that what I think now, but I kind of got myself a man. I'm seeing him.
Mm-hmm. What
he hasn't stamped it out yet?
Tell me about this guy.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't supposed to work out because I met him in Austin. He was working on my show. He had a crush on me on March. I didn't see him because I just didn't care. He's cute, but I had my dog with me. June, he was working on it again, and he was wearing my merch hat.
In Austin?
In Austin. And then one of the waiter came by. She's like, oh, my God, he's so hot. I want to fuck him. I'm like, And then the bartender came by. She goes, oh, my God, I want to fuck him. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fuck him. They're like, are you sure? I said, I'm Chinese. My pussy is for the people. You know, maybe I should just give some sympathy pussy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's hot, and I'm lonely. Then, yeah.
You know,
but
with women,
yeah.
So let's see if we can unpack this a little, because I'm interested. Women can be swayed heavily by other women, whereas guys are a little more set in their ways. And I'll give you an example. To me, Pete Holmes is just a dorky guy who's the least funny cast member of Saturday Night Live. But at some point, when he starts fucking Kim Kardashian, then all the women get in line, because once you fuck a couple of hotties, then you're in. Lyle Lovett is one of the physically most unattractive country singers of all time. But he was fucking Julia Roberts when she was like 26. And so then everyone went, well, I got to fuck him too. Now, that doesn't work the other way. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If Leonardo DiCaprio was fucking Lizzo and then moved on from Lizzo, me and Mayhem still wouldn't want to fuck Lizzo.
What do you mean? I already did.
Oh, all right, but again, is what I'm saying. Right. So women don't work that way. If I'm sitting around and there's an unattractive female comedian, not you, and Mayhem comes up to me and goes, "Man, that female comedian's hot. I wish I could get in her pants." I'd go, "Good luck, brother." And I would just leave. It wouldn't sway me to be more attracted to the unattractive person. But women, if they got a couple of women around them explaining they would like to get in with this person, then it would sway them.
I really agree with you. I know there's a story in Chinese culture. A very rich Chinese man, he want to find a wife for his son to marry. He's very rich. Make sure the woman's smart enough. So there's a lot of women auditioning. Basically, he has a task. There's 3 women should fill up a room. The first one fill up with cotton. Second one
fill it up.
Fill up a room.
Fill up a room.
She bought a lot of cotton. And second one bought a candle. She filled up the room with light. The third one, she bought books. So guess which one the son married?
I don't know.
The one with the biggest tits.
Hey-o.
You guys are visual.
That's true.
That's what you said. You
That's
guys
how we roll.
know what you want.
But you, because a couple of waitresses came by and said, "I'd like to fuck this guy."
Yeah, I was just. I feel
got
like
swayed.
I got swayed. I'm like, no, I should fuck him.
Yeah.
It should be me.
So what happened?
I said, there's a stalker here. I want you to protect me. I'm so afraid of the stalker because my energy is too strong on stage. Men are scared of me. So I'm like, I'm so scared. I'm like shaking right now. I have to shake. I'm like, and then he's like, I of course I can help you. And then he drove me back to Four Seasons. And I said, do you want a drink? He goes, yeah. And then he's like, I would love to get to know you. I said, shh. He's like, this is the first date, right? I'm like, shh, I said, let's go upstairs. And then we're upstairs, and he was sitting on the couch. I really feel like, I feel the struggle of Diddy, like they just stay away from you. Like I'm naked in bed. Like, I'm like, come here. He was like, do you want to talk?
Wait, you got naked in bed?
Yeah, I'm drunk. So
okay.
he's sitting on the couch being respectful.
How are you with alcohol? Certain Asians have an enzyme that
I have
prevents
nothing.
them.
I'm shameless. I started drinking when I was 4. We grew up in a restaurant. My father would put a chopstick in the alcohol and ask me to taste which one tastes better. Just like taste it. So it's just always there.
At age 4?
I didn't have a problem with it, but it's always around. I have a sip.
Okay.
I'm 6 or 7.
Okay.
And so I just, and he's like, he's just a gentleman. He's like, let's just talk. I said, no. He's like, we can't have sex. I'm like, why? He goes, there's no condom. I said, come here.
This is code for I beat off at 3 p.m.
I think he did.
Yeah, a lot of guys will rub one out, then all of a sudden they become gentlemen later on because something popped up they didn't know.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm naked. He's like, there's no condom. I said, come here. He walked by. I said, look at my phone. He goes, what's that? I said, Uber Eats condom, 1 a.m.
Really?
I Uber Eat the condom from CVS.
Really? He didn't. And did just the condom? Didn't throw in like a large burrito or anything like that?
We get Gatorade.
Gatorade.
Because he's going to be dehydrated because I haven't had sex in 6 months. So we had sex. And then when he was leaving, I said, tell me you love me already. He said, I love you. I said, I don't fucking believe you. So that was it. I said, I have to go to Raleigh. You can leave now. And he texted me, I'll see you again. I liked the message. And that's Jin.
And you left him back in Austin?
I heard the message, and that was Jim. But in
That was
September, he texted me, I would like to take you out on a real date. You are coming to tour here. I'm like, what did I do right? And I'm like, oh, yeah, the Uber Eats condom. He's like, that's my baby mama. But we're just seeing each other now for like a month, and he's still around, which he's not a boyfriend yet. But
what's his profession?
He was in tech, and now he retired. He's doing filming and producing. He's just interested in storytelling.
How is he?
He's just like a really, really calm and doesn't just like chill. Not like me. He's a sweet guy. Yeah.
Is he funny?
I'm funny.
Well, you're funny. Yeah.
He's
not funny.
He's not his thing.
Does he try to be funny?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and it's
not being funny's fine.
My
stepdad's not funny. He just doesn't try to be funny, so it's cool.
I learned method acting, so I can just be like, oh my God, that's so funny. Because that's the only time he got hard when I fake laugh at his jokes.
Oh, that's what gets him hard.
Also, he won't eat my pussy. He hasn't eaten my pussy for a month.
What?
For how many months?
First, we've been dating for a month. He won't eat my pussy.
Well, how many times have you been intimate with him?
I didn't offer pussy. He should. We had sex probably 5 times.
Are you going down on him?
Not yet.
Oh, well.
I asked him, I said, why wouldn't you eat my pussy? He goes, well, the most important thing is the main thing is that you don't shower before you go to bed.
That's what he said?
Yeah, I said, you are sitting there in your Abercrombie Fitch Speedo eating a leftover pie thai cold with sesame sauce. And you are telling me my fortune cookie is not okay with some stitch sweat, right? I'm like, nice fortune cookie and my mooncake. I'm not okay. I'm like, this is not even gay. That's autistic.
This guy seems to have a delicate wiring.
I think so.
Because most guys, after a few pops, are not worried about the condom, are not worried about the shower. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't stink. I'm Asian. I don't stink.
I wonder if it's a new breed because I don't know how old is this guy?
He's 33. He's
okay.
1 year younger than me, but he said he's 11 months younger.
Now that's my theory is we were not nearly this hygienic back in the day. There was no slathering on the Purell. There was no shower twice a day. There weren't 13 different brands of body wash. Nobody was ever talking about deodorant all over. There's every commercial, some chick talking about it's not just your armpits that smell, ladies. And I'm not going to say what else smells, but you can do the fucking math. It ain't your forehead. And so we have deodorant for every part.
Yeah.
All body deodorant. Eventually, I'm guessing we're just going to have deodorant dipping tanks where you just dip yourself in a fucking tank of deodorant. We have 5 million different cleaning products. We have 5 million different household cleaning products. COVID made everyone go insane. The fist bump. people won't let you hold their kids or their babies, if you don't fucking get deloused and take a shower.
Babies are allergic to everything.
They're supposed to be exposed to everything.
Yeah.
Guys shower and scrub. We didn't do this when I was young. You take a chick after she finished the Tour de France and eat her pussy on the podium,
That's
bitch.
a real man.
Yes.
That's a man.
Yeah.
7th stage of the Tour de France on the podium.
I'm with you.
Not even wait till you got back to the hotel. On the goddamn podium
That's hot.
in front of everyone after a 500-mile bike race. Pow.
hot.
All right, but the point is now everyone is dainty and everyone's worried about germs and all guys are basically pussies now.
Mm-hmm.
And so the younger guys are going to want you to hit the shower,
Mm-hmm.
scrub up, put some Mondo deodorant on,
Mm-hmm.
just all body deodorant. They're going to want to... They're going to want to put a mask on,
Yeah.
put a little hole in it. They're going to want to Purell up. Like, we're weird and germy and fucked up.
I know. He's German, so he want me to take a shower and wear a helmet.
Oh, hey, when a German tells you to get in the shower,
I know.
that's not
I
a good
want to
sign.
find all the juice hiding in my pussy. He's
Yeah.
like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. You got all
He's
the old juice
German.
in my... He's like German descent. Yeah, like maybe 80% German. That's why he's...
So he wants you clean.
I'm very messy. He's OCD. So I will see how
Oh, he's
long
got
he
the
can,
OCD.
how
Yeah,
long
the
he can suffer
condom.
me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see how long he can suffer me. He's doing okay so far. Maybe I got myself a man. Maybe I don't know. I try. I try to make sure he understands the crazy.
Is he OCD? Does he say he's OCD?
He doesn't say it, but I ask him. Like I went to his apartment. It's Nazi clean. It's beautiful, but it's very clean. I don't know what to do. I feel uncomfortable.
And he's a fan of yours, so he knows your background. He knows
He
you
knows
got
all
a
my
little
story
bit of-
on stage. He knows everything, but I just don't know. I don't. I mean, so far he's still putting up his everything. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
But you don't got to see him all the time because he's not around here.
He wants to make effort to hang out more. He actually invited me over for Christmas, around Christmas.
Oh,
to meet
wow.
his
He is
friends.
your boyfriend then. That's a boyfriend move.
He doesn't. He's like, let's take it a day at a time. I'm like, whatever you want. you know?
Christmas in Austin?
Not Austin, Ohio.
Oh, he's going back to his
So I'm doing
German
a show.
folks
I'm
in
doing a
Ohio.
show there. I'm doing a show there,
Uh-huh.
so I can meet them. They can come to my show and understand why we should break up.
How much modification of the act do you do, knowing that the OCD German guy's parents are in the audience?
And his brothers and sisters, and all his childhood friends. And, I definitely
Yeah.
will talk about the one night stand and the overeat condom. He said, you just be you ish.
Ish. Yeah, not too much of you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, your act is, R-rated,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah,
Would you
that's-
clean it? Listen, I've done it where I knew my whoever sister or something was in the crowd or something like that or whatever. You tweak things. You clean them up. Or my kids or something like that out in the audience. Would you tweak your act?
I mean, I want him to be around, so I will try. Yeah, I really do, because that would be if we are still together by Christmas. We'll be like together for 2.5 months. That's like 2 years for me.
That's a long time.
I may be able to, make it work, kind of. So I try to make it work. I'll clean it a little bit. Yeah, I think they'll be fine. I'll try to be demure, to considerate and mindful.
Okay.
Ladylike.
Yeah, ladylike. He's a sweet guy.
Yeah. Well, all I'll say is this. Nobody changes at all. So whatever he is, weigh it out, figure it out, make your decision. But do not go in going, I can make these little tweaks on this person.
He's very stubborn, and he's a Capricorn. I tried to change him and it didn't work, so I'm okay with it.
He's stubborn.
He's stubborn, which is good. He's grounded. He just like grounded. I'm crazy, I'm like a kite. I need somebody to pull me down before I blow away. So kind of good personality balance is good, brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm the fun. He's
All right. Stubborn can be bad, but sometimes it just means you believe in whatever your cause is.
Yeah. He's stable. Like he's stable. I'm
Okay.
like this.
That's good.
Yeah. So he
Okay.
can calm me down a little bit.
All right.
We'll see.
All right.
My son is a lot. If he meet my son, I don't know.
Now, let me ask you this. he's stable. Was the last guy you dated like less stable?
I really didn't really date anyone after my divorce. So it just I see someone for like 1 week. Like the guy I talked about last time is like we had 2 dates, and then I assumed I didn't know. This is like more serious. He's like a serious person. We are dating. He's not a boyfriend yet, but it just sounds like he's just serious. He's just like he want to make plans, even though he knows he's exposed to the craziness. I told him, tell me you love me when I'm drunk, screaming at him, and he seen me drunk and stuff, and he took out my hairpiece one by one when I was drunk.
Your hairpiece?
Yes, I have an extension, and we're gonna have sex, and he was taking off all my hairpiece.
Extension.
And wash me and put me in a t-shirt and feeding me coconut water. And I didn't get laid. I got coconutted. I was drinking coconut. I'm like, we didn't have sex? He goes, no, because you were dead. I said, you can still have sex with me. He was like, no.
You didn't want to have sex with you when you were drunk?
I was passed out. I said, we're going to have sex now.
Well, it is rape. In California, at least.
But in Texas, it's romance.
No, in Texas, you get promoted to the governor's office.
I know.
But in California, if you have sex with someone who's intoxicated, it is technically rape. Now,
yeah, he won't choke me, which is very upsetting.
He won't choke you?
He doesn't choke me. He's like, he just like.
It's not putting any real pressure on you?
I'm like, what are you looking for? Adam Apple? Choke me.
Yeah, well, that one goes south every once in a while, too,
I love it. Like, he's not going to kill me. He's a nice person. I'm like, just choke me a little bit. Like, let's be hot. But he's like, I don't want to hurt you. I'm like...
Yeah, like I said, every once in a while somebody dies doing that.
Really?
Oh,
really
yeah.
Hard to explain.
I mean, asking Mayhem.
Yeah, it's really hard to explain to the cops.
Yeah, that's hard to explain. And then you go, well, that's what she asked for. But then no one can really prove that, You
got to be an expert at it. Yeah, more than 5 times.
Expert?
Yeah.
Mayhem's an expert.
I can coach this guy.
All right. You have a son, right?
Yeah, his name is Winston. He's 5, and he's being funny, trying to do stand-up opening for me.
Well, there's a story that I wanted to bring up with you guys. It's a mom from Georgia, and she let her kid walk home alone or something. She got arrested. Cop showed up. This is a thing now. Now, I know you grew up in a hard Scrabble environment. I did as well. Mayhem did as well. I did whatever I wanted as a young person. I got on my bike and took off and just never came back. And we would go wherever, whenever, all day, every day. I mean, as far away as we could. We didn't have any form of communication. And my parents wouldn't go, here's a dime, call me when it was nothing. It's just, I'm gone. I didn't have money, food money, lunch money, pack lunch. Nothing. Just literally gone. I mean, my parents didn't give a fuck. So we just took off. And we just be gone all fucking day. And we started early too. This wasn't, in high school. This is early. Now, I don't know what this story is, Joe. I don't know how old the kid was. The kid 10? Is that the story? 10 was plenty old enough for us just to take off. I don't know if it's a news story or what the deal was. That we are freaking our kids out. We're fucking them up. This is the psychological version of slathering the Purell all over them, which is you are hurting your kid even though you think you are creating safety for your kid. You are damaging your kid psychologically by not letting them roam around and having a little autonomy, and you're hurting their immune system unknowingly by slathering the Purell on them. That's what I have to say. But I don't know about the story. There was a story, though, right? So we don't really need the picture of him, but we do kind of need the story.
Well, the pictures show you how old he was. But the mom was arrested when the kid was found over a mile from home walking by himself.
A mile?
A mile?
It's not far at all.
That's nothing. I know, that's 15 minutes.
Shocked. I would think that, back in the day, I would go get lost, too.
But didn't I hit the story? Didn't the story on the tweet, Joe, have something to it? Wasn't there a story on that?
Yeah, I don't understand. 1 mile?
Well, what I'm saying is somebody tweeted me this, so I hit it, and it was like a story. Had cops on the front porch, but I don't know if it was vid or it was a news story or it was an article or something. But there's There's something there, right?
Yeah, it was a news story. Which the clips are just mashups of news pieces and stuff like that.
Oh, well, can we see it?
Yeah.
How does it play? Well, that's what I'm saying. When I was telling you about favorite tweets, that's what I was kind of looking forward to. But I guess some neighbor must have called. Somebody had to call, right? Kid's 11 now. 10. What are you in the 10th? When you're 10, what are you in the
Fourth grade?
Fifth grade? Fourth grade?
Yeah.
Fourth grade? Fifth grade?
Oh, here's the lady.
There it is.
Police body camera video shows the moment Brittany Patterson was arrested for letting her 10-year-old son walk into town by himself.
What am I under arrest for?
For reckless endangerment.
And how was I recklessly endangering my child?
We're not talking about it.
On October 30th, Patterson said she took one of her children to the doctor. In the meantime, her son, Soren, who's since turned 11, decided to walk less than a mile into town from their home in rural Mineral Bluff, Georgia. While out, Patterson got a call from the sheriff's department, worried that Soren was walking alone.
I wasn't concerned. I wasn't, panicking or concerned because it's just a short walk from our house. He knows how to get home. He knows how to get there.
Authorities dropped Soren off at home, and 5 hours later, they returned.
Call mommy and tell them they're taking you to jail because you decided to walk down the street.
Let go of your hands. That's not his fault.
Yeah, call mommy.
You're the mother. That's your responsibility.
Last time I checked, it wasn't illegal for a kid to walk to the store. So.
It is when they're 10 years old.
Patterson was booked on suspicion.
Hold on a second. Is that? There's a law in the books that says.
Is she the president?
It's a lady cop.
She's a lady cop.
How does she know?
They're the worst cops. The lady cops.
She probably is a cat lady.
Don't tell him it's not her fault, not his fault. Save the commentary, bitch. You're arresting somebody who let their kid in a rural town, by the way. We're not the south side of Chicago or something. By the way, in the south side of Chicago, they're probably 10-year-olds just fucking running around with guns everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We'll keep it going. Sorry.
Responsibility.
Last time I checked, it wasn't illegal for a kid to walk to the store. So.
It is when they're 10 years old.
Patterson was booked on suspicion of reckless conduct, a charge that could carry 1 year in jail. The warrant claiming she willingly and knowingly did endanger the bodily safety of her juvenile son.
Our criminal justice system is built on the fact that you did something or you were negligent. You did something criminally negligent. So what is it she did?
Authorities have offered to drop the charge if Patterson signs a safety plan that includes the use of a GPS tracker on her son's phone. But she refuses to sign it or admit to doing anything wrong.
I just felt like I couldn't sign that, and that in doing so would be agreeing that there was something unsafe about my home or something unsafe about my parental decisions, and I just don't believe that.
Brittany Patterson is out on bail, awaiting to see if prosecutors will indict her on the reckless conduct charge.
All right. Can I say this? Do you want bigger government, people? Do you want more government? Do you want more of this? Because this is where it's going. This is where it's going, everyone. Do you want more of this? I don't. I want less of this. That's what I want. I don't know what the fuck that makes me, but why is everyone on the left cheering on bigger government? This is what happens. This is where we end up. Arresting fucking moms. But by the way, you can be arrested 28 times if you're in New York City and you'll just be thrown out and you can go stab somebody on the subway or whatever it is. But is this what we want?
I've been walking towards the Nike factory since I was 6 years old to work. I don't get it. It's bullshit. The boy needs to be a man. I mean, it's half mile.
Well, I guess the question is what is inherently dangerous about walking in the fourth grade or fifth grade? What is inherently dangerous about? Now, I walked to school when I was that age. Was that inherently dangerous? Like the people that walk to school? So what I'm saying is okay, you could be abducted, but you could be abducted. Jiaoying can be abducted too. Eventually, you'd be released because you'd be too annoying. But you could be abducted if you were just walking. Any woman, good luck with Mayhem. But if you had a gun,
they tried.
You could probably pull it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, so any citizen could be abducted. Any 40-year-old woman walking a dog alone could be abducted.
It's like the cops telling on themselves that, hey, these streets aren't safe enough. We haven't kept that we don't trust anybody else.
Well, in terms of safety, Lady Gaga's dog walker was walking their dog. He's probably a 40-year-old dude. Still got shot. They didn't prevent that. Yeah. If he was 10, they would have arrested Lady Gaga, but except for it wouldn't stop the bullets, you know? So now, you could then say, well, maybe at that age, you don't know where you are, except for I knew where the fucking school was. Yeah. Everybody walked to school in the 4th grade or 5th grade knows where the school is. You walk, and the kid in a rural town knows where the thing is. So knowing where to get home, there's a version where you could say to the kid, tell me what happened. Well, I got dropped off in town. And I had no idea how to get back to my house. And then you could say to the mom, you're endangering the kid. But if the kid knows how to get home, and it's not at night, but even if it is at night, the kid knows how to get at home, and the kid is walking around, anyone could be shot, anyone could be abducted, and anyone could be hit by a car. So what is inherently dangerous about being in the 4th grade and walking?
Nothing, but this is an enforcement thing. The enforcement is by this lady cop who's angry. I'm sure there's some hard-ass cop over there like you that has the same mentality. It's like, yeah, let him walk, no problem. But some lady cop decided to enforce this in a way that doesn't even sound like that's the way to enforce it. She just threw up anything.
Yeah, well, what I've learned from women in positions of power, they dig in fast and they don't like you fucking with them. Anyone who's been to the airport and dealt with the black chick and went, well, hold on. I can bring this bag because okay, now you're fucked. They dig in hard, they push back fast, and there's no negotiation.
It's bad. I was going through the security, and she asked me to follow the guy with the hat. I just went to another place, and she goes, "I'm speaking English. Do you speak it?"
Oh, black chick?
Yeah, she happens to be.
Black chicks are totally angry because we made them angry because we told them we didn't like them. And a lot of them don't know their dads, and so they're inherently angry, and then we put them at every airport. This happens all the time. It's just I get verbally abused by black chicks at the airport. There's nothing you can do about it, but I get it. We told them that white men don't like them, and I'm a white man, so I wouldn't treat me any differently either if I believed that I didn't want them in my country. But they don't feel like they can get fired, and they're pissed off. And their bedside manner is weird and angry. And I've had it happen. I've had it happen. Another thing, too, with the fucking airport security is like I've went through the security one time and I went through one time and I left my ball cap on my head. And when I went through, the angry person on the other side went, "Take your hat off." And I went, "Oh, okay." And I took my hat off and they felt around. I went, okay. The next time I went through the airport, I took the hat off and walked through and the angry chick went, "Put your hat on." It's like, all right. Are we just yelling at citizens at this point?
Yes,
what are we doing? And there's no please or thank you. They just start yelling at you and you're actually fucking cattle.
Yeah, it's like a cattle, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where we're at. So anyway, chicks... Look, everyone hates when I say this, but defying women, they get pissed fast and they go back hard. Men do too. Women do it harder and more.
It's just the release for us. Whenever I scream and yell at somebody, I just feel really happy. I release my happy hormone. I want to live longer.
Right.
And when I yell, I like it. It really makes me feel better.
Right. So there was let's watch a clip one more time. But I believe there was a man and a woman who were arresting. Why was the woman doing all the talking? And she didn't need to answer. She just could have kept putting the cuffs on and walking them back to the car. But she was the one doing the fucking talking. And see, the dude cop realized this is chicken shit bullshit. I didn't sign up to be a cop to arrest fucking suburban moms who did nothing. That's what the guy's thinking. The chick is thinking, fuck this bitch. Don't fuck with me. I got a badge.
5 hours later, they returned.
Call mommy and tell them they're taking you to jail because you decided to walk down the street.
Let go of your hands. That's not his fault.
Yeah, call mommy.
You're the mother. That's your responsibility.
Last time I checked, it wasn't illegal for a kid to walk to the store.
It is when they're 10 years old.
All right.
Patterson was.
So the guy's just going, put your hands down and put the cuffs on, because the guy's going, this is fucking embarrassing.
Yeah.
Because this guy grew up, this male cop, he grew up watching Starsky and Hutch and all the good cop dramas, right? And he pictured himself sliding across the hood of a Gran Torino yelling, no time for backup, let's roll, and like slapping a siren on top, going after some international drug cartel assassin, getting sideways, coming out of the alley, driving through boxes, catching air. You know what I mean? That's what he thought. He didn't sign up to arrest housefrows that did nothing, right? So he's kind of embarrassed that he had to roll on this call. Because any dude would be, especially a dude who wanted to be a cop. So he's just like, put your hands back, thanks. But the fucking lady cop, she's ready to fucking scrap.
Drop the oven mitts, bitch! Get on the ground! Take your apron off right now!
Take the Stofers out of the toaster oven! So the lady wants to fucking scrap.
Yeah.
She doesn't... This is why. She didn't have to say anything. By the way, though, the mom, roll it one more time. The mom,
microanalyze.
The mom is saying to the son,
yes, they're just
call your grandma or call for. Look here. Okay, this is another thing. You're endangering the kid by leaving him alone now in the house or whatever. Yeah. But the mom is saying to the son, call your mom or call your grandma or call whomever and tell them I'm being arrested, and because you were walking around, not because I took a curling iron to your nutsack. Like, I don't want to think Child Protective Services are here because I'm putting cigarettes out on you.
Yeah.
You know, like, tell them what happened and whatever. The lady cop did not have to get involved with that conversation. She could have just kept arresting the person, but she's a lady.
5 hours later, they returned.
Call mommy and tell them they're taking you to jail because you decided to walk down the street.
Let go of your hands.
That's not his fault.
Yeah, call mommy.
You're the mother. That's your responsibility.
Last time I checked, it wasn't illegal for a kid to walk to the store.
So. It is when they're 10 years old.
All right. First things first. She didn't say it was your fault. She just said call the other parent authority and tell them I'm being arrested and it was because you're walking down the street. She didn't say it's your fault. She just said that. All right. Got to get women out of positions of power. That's what I'm saying.
I have a joke about a female president. You know, they would not start a war, but they would start a war, and you don't know what you did.
Oh yeah, you don't know what the war's over.
Yeah,
right.
Like, they wouldn't tell you what you did wrong. There's a war, but you have no idea what you did wrong.
We would like carpet bomb Sweden, and then Sweden would be like, "What the fuck?" And then he'd be like, "Go look in the mirror, Sweden, and try to figure out what you just did."
Also, you know, if you are talking to another country behind her back, nuke.
Yep.
Yeah,
nuke.
that's.
We had a dream you were going to invade us.
Yeah, there's a dream.
Yeah,
5 years ago.
No, it was Sweden. The reason we carpet bombed you is because we had a dream that you had an affair with Portugal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Portugal.
And like, I didn't have an affair with Portugal. You got carpet bombed, bitch. I dreamed it. That's true. All right, let's see. I got another thing here. They're now, look, I don't like to say I was ahead of the times, but
you don't?
I have been explaining for years into a microphone that I am a sink peer. I pee in sinks of bathrooms. Not every single one, but as many. I've been talking about this for years and years and years into the microphone, and basically it works like this. If I'm brushing my teeth in front of the mirror, I'm taking a piss into the sink as I'm brushing my teeth, and then I give it a shot of water, and it's basically like taking a glass of water and dumping it into the sink versus 2 gallons of water, which the toilet does. Mm-hmm. So anyone who's into an environment should be on my side with this, but nobody is. All everyone does is call me gross. Pee is urine. Urine is sterile, basically. But I've been talking about this and talking about saving water and talking about this for 25 years. And now they're starting to come out with sink-urinals, which is you take a leak while you're brushing your teeth, and then you just give a shot of water. You wash your hands, and the water that's used to wash your hands flows the urine down the drain versus flushing. So all we ever talk about, especially in Southern California, is we're in a drought. We're in a drought zone. No watering. Don't hose your driveway down. Don't wash your own car. Sweep your driveway. Drought, drought, drought. But we never talk about peeing in the sink and how many cajillions of gallons it would save.
I think it's good for smart people because they can sink. But for dumb people, they just pee on the wall and just like, But this is for smart people. Can actually function like that.
Okay. I have been in many a bar and many a stadium and seen many a drunken dumb dude find the urinal. So they can find it. I think even dumb guys could find the urinal.
That's impressive.
So this is a urinal. It's just got a sink built into the top. I love it. I would use the shit out of this. Do you have this is the picture of this is at a gallery, a place that sells plumbing and toilets and things with sinks and that nature. I'll bet you this is in Europe because Europeans are peeing. Europeans are always ahead of us in the piss game. They're that way with the outdoor urinal stuff. They're always a couple steps in front of the Americans. Like you take our porta potties. What is the difference between a porta potty in 2024, a brand new porta potty here in the United States, and a shit shack from 1821, like the Old West, like in Hateful Eight?
I would say,
what is there anything that's up? It's a fucking pot. You piss in it. It's got 4 walls and a little chimney breather. Like, we don't move forward from a technological standpoint. In Europe, they have these 3-way piss pod things that are just carved out. You can turn your back to society. Like, they're always ahead of us in Europe about and Asian cultures. Maybe not China, Japan. Mm-hmm. They're ahead of us in the piss game. We are. A porta potty is the exact same thing as an outhouse, and an outhouse is $300.
$915?
Best $915 you'll ever spend.
Steal.
Where's this out of? Is it a European thing?
AliExpress, Chinese.
Is it Chinese?
Yeah.
Oh God,
Alibaba Express.
I owe you an apology.
Wow, this is.
Can I get one of those?
Yeah, let me order one for you.
Would you like to purchase
AliExpress,
one?
I have an account with AliExpress.
You do?
Yes.
So
I have Ali stocks.
This Alibaba thing, but not an Amazon thing, or is that how that works? Or I don't know how it works.
We can order and send it to here.
The wholesaler.
Yeah, it's the AliExpress, the wholesaler. You just buy 10.
Well,
you give to your friends.
Let me give. All right, let's work this out.
I know what I'm getting for Christmas.
We have a bathroom. Our bathroom has a toilet and a urinal, but no sink in one of them.
I was there because you were shaving in the other room. I went there to pee.
You did?
Yeah.
I know. But thank you.
The
other one has a sink and a toilet, but no urinal. The one with the urinal could use a sink, but I don't know where we would put it, but I do now.
Yeah.
Order this shit up. I'm putting this bad boy in.
I did not wash my hand.
You what?
I did not wash my hands.
That's fine.
Because there's
I wash
no
my
sink.
hands in the urinal. That's okay, right?
Yeah, you can do that. Like a bird taking a bath.
We call it a bird bath.
$915 on Alibaba. And is it available like at Schneider Diamond? I mean, it's not a Home Depot item.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
That's not a home. It will be. It will come to fruition. It will be.
Americans are very like if you say that you pissed in a sink, you know it. Everybody's like, "Whoa, yuck, that's so gross." Even the guys who will come up to you afterwards will be like, "Ha, yeah, me too."
We have a weird. It's women. Like if I had a thermos and I had to piss really bad, and I pissed in it. And any woman I had ever been with would be like, well, you got to throw that shit out. I'd go, no, I'll just clean it. You know, and they go, no, it's no good anymore. And I go, it's made of aluminum. I can just fucking clean it in the sink. And by the way, I wouldn't use soap. I'd just do it with a hot rinse, shake it up, rinse it a couple times. Fine. They go, I'm not drinking out of that. It's like, okay, Miss Scientist. By the way, we just got fucked by COVID because of fucking numbskulls like you guys who didn't know anything. But women would not go for this, but they don't use the urinal. We use the urinal. Now, I would know women who would not use that sink.
I would use it.
You would use it?
And Gwyneth Paltrow would not use it. Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth.
All right, Gwyneth. Okay,
Gwyneth
here's what I would say. If I installed this in my house, most women would go, that's gross. And then I'd go, what's gross? And then they'd go, I'm not going to use that sink. And then I'd go, why wouldn't you use the sink? And they go, are you kidding? It's gross. And then I'd go, why not? And then at some point, they would enlist the help of another woman. Another woman would come by, and they'd look at them, and they'd go, you wouldn't use that sink over the urinal, would you? And they'd go, no way, that's gross. And then they would think they won the argument. Yeah. Even though there is no argument because the sink is above the urinal. You're not pissing into the sink. Mm-hmm. You can get one a sink urinal out here.
Yeah, for $4.15 they said.
$4.15.
Oh yeah, that's the lighter model.
Where's that one from?
Delta.
Listen. There is now going to be way more than one offering on the sink piss, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's from Delta. That's just a promo at the top, but that's on Amazon.
That's on Amazon.
Wow.
For $4.15. Okay.
It's a smaller one.
Let's do it. Don't get the fixture yet. Okay, let me ask this, though. I have a urinal there now. I would like a urinal sink. The urinal only requires cold water.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So I have cold water stubbed out to work the faucet, and you wouldn't want to wash your urine down with hot water per se. That's why they dump ice in the urinal at the bars. Keeps the smell down. When I hook up this urinal sink, do I have to pull a hot water line, or can I just hook up the cold and leave it at cold, and fuck you if you want to wash your hands, it's just cold water. You don't get hot water. Is that fine?
I think you got to roll like that. If not, I mean, we're going warm piss, like real hot boiling
It's
piss
not really
water.
worried about that. It's just people, when they wash their hands, look for some hot water. That's all.
Or
This is a bonus sink. There's
It's
no
a bonus
sink in there.
There's no sink.
So all sink is bonus sink.
Okay.
I think.
So are there many of these devices now, Joe? I guess more than one?
That's the only one that seems like it's available in America. There's nothing on Home Depot or Lowe's, but there's that one on Amazon.
Home Depot. So here's what's going to happen. Same thing that happened with gay marriage. Gay marriage 20 years ago, people are like, what the fuck? No. And now it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Good for us. Gay marriage. Pissing in the sink urinal thing? Get the fuck out. 20 years from now, it'll be gay marriage.
It's going to climb up.
Yeah, why don't you have one? I got one.
Right, they're going to put it in barbecues next.
I mean,
there'll be a urinal in a barbecue, so you can pee while you're barbecuing.
Yeah, it's going everywhere.
Ubiquitous. It's going everywhere.
It's going everywhere.
How about you burn your dick? Mm-hmm. That's scary.
Well, this is a hypothetical, but it could happen. No urinal sinks at Snyder Diamond, by the way. That's an upscale place where they would sell sinks and faucets and things like that. All right, well, let's order one up, Joe, because I'm fucking swapping that thing out. God damn it. Oh, I'm going to be the belle of the ball. But this is essentially what I've been talking about for more than 25 years.
See, well, people are behind the times, but eventually it's going to hit the pissing point.
Well, the other thing that I can take a victory lap on, I don't know if you saw this, but there's a video of a guy trying to remove a crow from the roof of his car.
Crow?
No,
there's a crow.
I love crows.
They're smarter than shit. Yeah. They're super loyal. And my tack crows will come to fruition one day. They will be protective service for us. And this guy's a crow sitting on his car. You can play it. And the crow's not moving, so he walks around and he picks the crow up to move it off of his car. And when he does that, he finds out that the crow has friends. But I'm just using as an illustration of what happens when you're attacked by a crow, which is all you can do is flail and get out of the way. He makes it. Now all the crows come down and start pounding on his head because that's what crows do. They don't care if they're giving away 200 pounds to you. They fuck with you. And all this guy can do is retreat to his car, although he seems sort of surprisingly okay with it, because I would be in the car as fast as I could possibly get in the car, but they're loud and they fuck with you, and that's with no training. Wait till I train my attack crows to go after bad guys.
They can take the eyes out. They are so vicious.
You have these stories all the time. There's a guy, he's got a machete, he's standing in the middle of the bridge, he's threatening people, the cops are yelling, put the machete down, he's not, it's going to be death by suicide with cop, everything. They shot him with a beanbag, all it did was piss him off. Get the crows. Get the crows. He's not machete down, on the face, screaming for mercy.
I had to move. I had a war with those crows. Oh, my God.
You did?
Yeah. I came in the backyard one time and the hot dog was locked into mortal battle with a crow.
Your dog that you shaved and colored to look like an alligator?
Correct. Gator hot dog. Yeah, he had already wounded him by the time I got out there because I was smoking a joint. Mm-hmm. But I came out there and was like, what the fuck is going on? And I separated him, and then suddenly
Hot Dog was doing battle with crows.
Already put in work, and the crow was like wounded.
Really?
Yes, he like must have snuck up on him. I know. Actually, the crows were eating my tulips that I got from Amsterdam. So I was kind of mad about that, but I didn't know that till later.
That's good.
Anyway, I wrapped up the crow in a blanket and a towel, and I put him on the front porch. I said, "Hey, bud, if you're not gone in 15 minutes, I'm come back with the shovel." And he took off from then on.
Wow.
The crows followed me.
Oh, yeah.
Forever.
Very loyal.
Forever. They
Did
were
they become your friend?
Screaming at, no, we're not
They
friends.
hate
They
you.
recognize.
I had to sell my house
They're
and
so
leave
smart.
town.
They had to leave.
They're so smart.
They recognize your face.
I know.
When
Wow.
people do crow research, they have to wear a mask. So they're not attacked when the researcher leaves the facility and goes to the parking lot. The crows will recognize you. You literally have to be like you're in the movie Point Break and you're robbing a bank. Otherwise, the crows, remember, they're smarter than we are. They use tools. They're mean. They're loyal.
So smart.
They're trainable. They should be being recruited and trained to be attack crows.
Also, the girls who's getting dumped and ghosted should have a crow best pet. So if a guy ghosts you, you send your crow after him.
Yeah.
You can't even get laid. Just bite his dick when he's trying to put it out.
You send them to do
So
your bidding,
smart.
like the Wicked Witch with the flying monkeys.
Wow, that's so smart.
I welcome our crow overlords.
All right. Joe, when I was telling you about the before and after with Sonny Hostin, I think I also mentioned Michelle Obama in there, which you may want to try to drum up as well. I'll explain that in a minute. We'll take a quick break. Come back. We'll do the news right after this.
Hey, I'm Adam Carolla. That's Brad Williams and Jay Leno. Hey, buddy. Over there, we're doing our third annual comedy fantasy camp. That's going to be January 23rd through the 26th, right in Hollywood, California. Where else would it be? These guys are going to be there.
So remember, 2 out of every 3 comics make it big.
Well, 1.5.
Do I get paid for this? Please tell me I get paid for this.
Go to comedyfantasycamp.com and get in on the fun.
Morgan & Morgan, life can be crazy sometimes, and one person's negligence can result in another's settlement. So let's hope that if anything happens to you, you get hold of Morgan & Morgan. If you're ever injured, check out our good friends Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers. And as long as we're in the more department, more than $20 billion with a B dollars recovered for over 500,000 plus clients. Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting and getting you full and fair compensation. Going on the road, doing stand-up every weekend, well, that can be hard. But submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan, that's easy. So go with Morgan & Morgan, right, Dawson?
If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/Adam or dial #law, #529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/Adam or #law, #529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement. It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam Richmond Pullman for you. Your job involves assembling a cabinet. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Yeah, I think we use that one, Dawson, but it's good.
I asked around if anybody had heard it. I'm sorry. That's my bad if we doubled it.
That's all right. Not everyone hears every second of the show. But it's good. It's assembling a cabinet because you're shopping at IKEA or you're Trump assembling your cabinet. It's good. Interesting. All right. What do you got, Mayhem?
Man, first of all, Jaguar is dubbed Bud Light 2.0 after releasing a modernist rebranding ad with androgynous models and no cars.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out.
Mm-hmm. Super skinny, weird androgynous models of all colors, looking weird, live vivid, delete ordinary, dudes in dresses, break molds, although I don't know if he could swing that sledgehammer, it's too fucking spindly, and weird, serious, copy nothing. Yeah, probably not put together by a car guy.
Mugatu, I think, put this together.
Mugatu! Who's that?
That's the bad guy from Ben Stiller's movie, classic movie.
Yes.
Am I being racist?
Yeah.
Do I look like the Asian woman in the back?
That's the Asian dude.
That's me.
Yeah.
Am I being racist? Because she looked like me.
Yeah, you're racist.
And she
You're
does
talking about
though.
Will Ferrell's character.
The one in the middle.
Yeah.
The girl in the middle.
Mhm.
A man, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know what we're doing, and sometimes I think we are trolling.
Yes, exactly right.
Because this is getting a lot more eyeballs than a commercial of a white guy just driving a Jaguar around some cones or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm assuming that's what they're doing, but it's definitely a trend in that it's a metaphor for society. So society used to care about statistics and data and numbers, right? And so we would say but not only that. Well, it's sort of like, so you think about this, Joe. Remember we played that clip yesterday of Sanchez or Lopez or whatever from Texas, basically explaining no one's illegal. Get that ready, because I will tie it into this, which is to say, when in a different period in this country's time, when you were selling a car, you were selling sticker price versus horsepower versus torque versus warranty. You know, you had a rust-proof warranty and a drivetrain warranty and an engine warranty, you know. And so what you're saying is hey, pragmatic people, this car is $17,000 but has more horsepower than the one that's $22,000 and a better warranty, you know, and they would sell it. That's how they sold cars. They go, you could buy this, you know, expensive Mercedes, but our Datsun is more durable and cost half the price. And they were selling numbers, fuel mileage. They would tell you on the commercial, 27 on the highway and 23 in the city. You know, those are estimates, you know, but that's the fuel mileage. Just numbers. Here's the sticker price. We have a lease program where you put 2% down and your payments are $289 a month. Numbers. Then we as a society decided we were done with facts and done with numbers, and we're only into good vibes.
Emotion.
We're just in emotion.
Yeah, I hate that because for the Ivy League school, when they accept students, like the Chinese kids, Asian kids are good with calculus, they have good score, but they want you to be trans and to like, be crazy
sorry,
and
Asians.
Like a 0 score, but if you are not like diverse, you can't get in.
Right.
There's enough Asians in the school.
Meritocracy versus good vibes. Well, we have figured out that good vibes are where our society was at. Now, we just had an election that said, fuck good vibes.
Yeah.
Because Kamala Harris was trying to get by on good vibes. Mama, she's going to dance and have a good time and bring it all back. But everyone went, fuck that. We're getting back into warranties and we're getting back into sticker price. We're getting back into fuel. Like, we need to get back because the good vibes don't do anything. They fuck everything up. And Subaru was made with love and all this kind of stuff. So car commercials, no more information. Now we don't even see the car.
I think this is a bit of rage baiting. That was on purpose. They didn't
anger me.
And then look, they got Elon Musk tweeting at him.
Right.
Do you sell cars?
Right.
So they baited the ultimate guy to get them some more eyeballs. We're talking about him. Everybody's talking about him. I think that was the whole strategy.
They just try to piss you off.
It may be now.
I just remember that Jaguars like break down a lot. I thought like I would want to fix that, but instead just throw a dress on.
All English cars used to have a lot of problems.
Electrical, right?
Yeah,
like
mostly.
the dogs, right? Like the English dogs, they always have problems, the hip problem, like the the cockers. No, what do they have? The
English bulldogs.
Like the corgi, like
English bulldogs got the word English in it. All right, but all right. Look, I'll play you this 30-second clip, but I'm saying this is good vibes versus a plan.
It's going to cost a lot of money. Estimates say $88 billion to just process and deport 1 million people. Do the math. How is he going to pay for it?
What do you want to happen then to the millions of people that are here? Do you support people who are here illegally that have committed crimes in the past few years? Do you support them being deported?
I support treating all of God's children with dignity and respect.
Even criminals?
Dignity and respect.
All right. So that's good vibes, but that's not a plan. And now we're in the good vibes era, although we voted in the plan guy, not the good vibes guy. So now it's going to be a clash of the good vibes versus the plan. And we'll see how that plays out. But the guy's going to try to make a lot of plans, and the good vibers are going to fight with the plan people. And we'll see how that works. All right, what else you got there?
Well, a buddy of yours, you need to call and check on him. Jay Leno busted his face in a nasty fall.
I did talk to him.
Check out his
night.
eye patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just the eye patch. His face is clearly...
it's probably going to look better after the surgery, right?
Tell us what he told you.
He told me it was a gay trick that got out of hand.
Oh, that's rough, man. That's rough.
I mean, people say eye patch, but his entire face is black and blue.
I mean, he's not known for his looks. He doesn't look worse. It just...
Yeah.
If he fixes it, he'll probably look better than before.
He looks like a funny pirate.
If anything, his chin saved him.
All right. We'll play the clip, by the way.
What on earth happened to Jay Leno?
Oh, your poor face.
Look at my eye.
Oh, my gosh.
Jay Leno is all bruised up. The left side of his face is black and blue. His eye is swollen shut. And look at his injured wrist.
I broke my wrist, lost the nail on the finger, and then I'm all black and blue.
The comedian says he fell down a 60-foot hill.
Damn.
I said, well, the hill doesn't look that steep. Let me take it down. And then
You rolled down a hill?
He loves to doubt himself.
Jay Leno says he was staying at a Hampton Inn about 30 miles outside of Pittsburgh on Saturday night when he wanted to have dinner at a local restaurant before his show. Instead of walking a mile and a half down the road, he decided to take a shortcut down the hill. Not a good idea. This is believed to be the steep incline.
Pause it for a second.
Where is he?
Let me tell you something about not a good idea, people. These are excellent ideas if you pull them off.
Yeah.
People say to me all the time, like, don't you think you should tell the inspector about the bootleg, whatever? I go, no, but it's only a bad idea if I get busted. It's a great idea if you make it down the hill and get to the restaurant an hour faster, right? They don't tell that. They go, bad idea. It's like saying, yeah, you got on that airplane that crashed, Mayhem. Bad idea. It's like, well, it's only bad because the plane crashed. It was a good fucking idea when you were going to Pittsburgh earlier that week, though, right? Yeah. Hampton Inn.
Why?
Hampton sounds too close to hamper. Right? All right, I'm sorry. He fell down the hill.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm just looking at his face. I think, you could get a knocker in there. He ate shit, yeah.
Go ahead and play it. Sorry.
Well, I hit a bunch of rocks. It was 60 feet.
Incredibly, the famous workaholic legend performed just 3 hours later without even taking a day off to nurse his injuries. Last night, he was back at it again, performing at a comedy show in Beverly Hills. This is just the latest mishap to afflict Leno in recent years. In November 2022, he was severely burned in a fire inside his garage.
I went to the Grossman Burn Center, and I got a new face. That's a brand new ear.
Leno needed skin grafts, and there he is undergoing hyperbaric therapy at the world-renowned Grossman Burn Center in Los Angeles. Tomorrow night, he'll perform at Comedy for a Cause in Hermosa Beach to raise money for the Burn Foundation, his thank you for saving his life.
Will you be able to see again?
It'll be fine. I'm not worried about it.
I love that guy's wiring. Show must go on. Laid back. Oh, they didn't even talk about the motorcycle crash.
Yeah, he was in a motorcycle wreck a little while ago. Broke his leg. And,
he was clotheslined. Yeah. He was on a car with a side hack. You know what a side hack is,
What's
Jiaoying?
that? What's a side hack?
Side hack's a three-wheeled motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, real popular
Slow.
amongst Nazis. There's always that guy in the side hack.
I should buy this for my future boyfriend.
Yeah. Tell him he can get in the hack. You know what the guy in the hack is called?
What?
The monkey.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he can hang out the side and whatnot to keep the thing going around. When I was a kid, I loved that. I thought that was the coolest thing. I wanted to do that.
The three-wheel motor
Yes.
races, the side hack races?
Yes, that was badass.
Yeah. Jay's guy, Bernard, who's a crazy Swedish guy, races a three-wheel motorcycle and has a side hack. You got to have a monkey.
Does he need a monkey? Can I sign up for this?
What's kind of weird is his monkey is a dude I went to high school with, and he's a big dude. And so you kind of go, wait a minute, do you want a big dude in that position? Because it's a motorcycle. It's got good power for a motorcycle, but it doesn't have that much. It's a weight to horsepower situation. But also, this guy Kowski, who was his monkey, that's Bernard's monkey, is a tall, big dude. And so when you hang out over the fender, you got that much more leverage, that much more weight, and that much more where you want it. Because
I'm just thinking, is they prepared for the accident? Because a fat guy can be a meat pat.
They got into a bad accident.
So
You're going to get into an accident.
The fat guy? So
when you're turning left, because I think the hack's on the left. When you're turning left, the guy's hanging off the thing as far out as he can hang to keep that wheel on the ground. And when you're turning right, he's sucked up. No, he's hanging out on the right turn. Yeah. And on the left turn, he's in tight with you. Oh, he's out on the, let's see, wait a minute. No, he's in tight with you on the right turn. He's in tight with you on the right turn, I think on the left.
Yeah.
But it's nuts. And it's crazy. And these guys are going 175 miles an hour, and they're just hanging out on this third wheel on the side with like a bar on it that they can hang on to and hang this way.
Oh, my God.
And hang that way. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's scary. It sounds like a threesome. You don't want to have.
Yeah.
It's like you're just watching people doing crazy shit, and you are not even a part of it, really.
Show me a picture of Bernard and Kowski on their side hack So this guy's always at Leno's shop. So Leno's got a side hack too, but his side hack is just a side cart. And he was just out riding his three-wheeler, and some guy strung a cable across the road or something, and he just hit it and just threw him right off the back of the thing. The hack is on the it's on the right or the left? Maybe it's on the right.
What? No, it's on the left, isn't it?
It's on the left?
I'm pretty sure.
I wonder if they move it depending on if most tracks turn to the right? I don't know. Anyway, you lean way the fuck. It is hairy. It's hairy. It's one of those crazy sports. It's up there with drag boat racing or something. Like, what? Who thought of this? And who's doing it? And how do you get paid? Yeah. These guys are turning left, so the guy's hanging off.
That's the monkey?
The hack.
Yeah, that's the monkey.
Yeah, the helmet?
Well, they're both wearing
different helmets.
They're both wearing a helmet.
The helmet has pink on it.
The monkey's the guy who's hanging off the hack. That's the monkey.
Pink hat.
I never seen it like that, but that's buck wild.
That's scary.
Yeah, this isn't Bernard though, and this thing's a little tame. Bernard's like riding on a big slick. His nuts. His bike or three-wheeler's nuts. I think they crashed. I think they won the championship. I can't remember. Bernard, Swedish guy, doesn't talk that much. All right, what else we got?
Man, you know what else? We got Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. We're leaving this Trump dump. Yeah, they're one of the few celebrities to actually move. They're selling their house in Montecito. Well, they previously sold that one, but they are going to sell their property and I guess get out of here to England.
Well, England's nice, and I don't think the tax system is beneficial, but I don't think she's really working or earning, and they're just kind of retired. So you might want to retire there, Trump or not.
Yeah,
I mean, you might buy a home and live in the countryside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand.
We're officially done with Ellen. We don't have her to kick around anymore.
I don't need her.
I don't need her either.
I don't need her energy. She's fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's okay.
What do you think Portia de Rossi thinks?
She doesn't think. They're just wearing cock rings on their finger and just eat each other out. She just lick pussy. I think that's what she does. And pretends that she is not getting yelled at. I think she probably can't hear, or she's wearing earplug all day. Because Ellen is screaming at her, I'm pretty sure. But she's like, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. Just, she just like think about the money and don't hear, just get on her knees. That's what she does. She's definitely yelling at, like, I know all of the narcissists who yell at their staff, they yell at their wife or their husband all day. They just pretend that's okay because there's an inside deal.
But they're always really nice to their dog.
Well, because I don't know. Are they really nice? You never know.
Yes, they overcompensate. All evil people are way too. All evil bitches are way too nice to their dog.
Maybe when the dog sleeps, they just touch the asshole like in a circle, sexually abuse the dog. You don't know. Like I just eat them.
Certain.
I eat them. I don't like them. I'm honest.
I'm saying every woman I've ever met who was horrible to her staff or employees was way too nice to their dog.
Yeah,
it's an overcompensation. I hate that too.
They're like your dog's better than you because during the war, China-Japan war, when Japan occupied China, no Chinese and dog allowed inside.
Really?
So they want to compare you to dog. They can dehumanize you more. Like my dog can have this coffee, but get on your knees and lick my feet. So I think it's a county way to show people you are not, dog's better than you. Yeah, that's probably why.
Well, I like Leno. I want him to stay. Ellen, I don't need. Yeah. You find a picture? You found Bernard and Kowski? Kowski's a big dude. Bernard's no flyweight either, but that fucking bike of theirs has so much horsepower.
Oh.
Yeah.
This looks like a fancy one.
This is what I was thinking.
That's a fancy one.
Not even.
Yeah. He's dragging his ass on the ground. And Bernard, who's nuts, is going 170 miles an hour at Willow Springs with no roll bar, no nothing. So when it goes bad, it goes bad, and that's it.
Yeah, never mind.
You're on your own. You don't want to do that?
No, never mind. I changed my mind. Doesn't seem as fun with my ass cheeks dragging on the ground.
I will figure out how fast they're turning these laps, because Bernard told me he was at the big track at Willow, and I think they won the championship there. Now Joe has to find out what the fastest lap Bernard did at Willow Springs in his three-wheel motorcycle, because I did a Trans Am race there in a Corvette, and I can tell you what the lap time was and what the speeds were. And I think these guys get around this track faster than a professional Trans Am car.
Damn.
Yeah. Which is fucking hairy.
Breakneck speed.
Do you think the monkey and the guy who's driving are best friends? They're also best friends in life?
Bernard's not best friends with anybody.
I just don't know. I feel like they're like a bromance. You know, we can't born the same day, but we can die the same day and stay together forever.
They do rely very heavily on each other, because each one of them could kill the other person.
Mm-hmm. It's like a marriage.
Right, yeah. All you'd have to do is the monkey is when you're supposed to be hanging off to the left, just shift to the right, and you're both going off the fucking track. Yeah. And same with the driver. You're both really responsible for each other. But imagine, you ever drive around? I do that. My girlfriend's like, I go 41 miles an hour in the canyon. She's like, slow down. You know, can you imagine being the monkey? How you have to just give away all control?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find it, Joe? Might be somewhere.
I found some race results. 2015, his best lap is 122.
122?
Yeah.
That's Bernard and Kowski, huh? 122 is right what we did in a professional Trans Am race, but I'm in a cage. So I got bars all around me. Yeah, and look up Trans Am. I think you'll look up like 2017 Trans Am. I think you'll see the guy on the pole is like a 119, and I was probably like a 122, but that was qualifying. But anyway, all right, same speed. And I'm going 160 on that track. So they're going 160 hanging off the side of a shopping cart. Kind of crazy.
You don't want underwear.
You don't want to do it anymore, do you?
I don't want to do it. I don't want. I changed my mind.
You'd rather get in the cage?
I mean, I'd rather fight people than that. Jesus Christ. Look, latest on Kim Kardashian. Yeah, she's hands-on with the Tesla bot in a bizarre photo shoot.
How's the robot go? Can any of us buy a Tesla robot, or is it a Kim Kardashian thing?
30 grand.
30 grand, yeah.
Is it 30 grand?
Yeah, they do housework. Sorry, I'm Chinese.
But what I thought was like they did this whole show out at the Disney Studios or whatever, some Universal Studios backlot or something, where they had all the robots come out, but there were like people driving those robots behind the scenes. It wasn't automated whatsoever. So it was like a big kind of weird F you to everybody. Oh, we have a autonomous robot, but it was like a dude in India driving it with the Xbox controller.
So it's like Hong Kong. I'm free, but not really free.
Yeah, exactly.
So is Kardashian, it's just another sort of publicity grab? Is everything just...
Yeah, she's super into everything Elon makes, and she's really like playing that. I guess they did the photo shoot in the Tesla Cybercab. Yeah, here she is posing with some of it.
Yeah, and
how is she squatting? It looks very weird.
The robot is in the Cybercab.
Yeah. It's very strange, this whole future that we live in where, I don't know, I didn't think Kardashian would still be such a big thing, but it's that thing where girls have kept it going.
Yes.
Like it feeds upon itself. Women they still like her extra.
Listen, it'd be like somebody saying the Haktua girl's going to be around in 30 years. Every bit as famous as she is now. You just go, what the fuck? The Kardashians are like the over-under on these guys are 4 months. Nobody's going to care what these whores are up to 5 years from now. Nope, I was wrong. Yeah. They're richer, more powerful than they were before.
I think it's the empire. They just like the amazing family value. They just doesn't matter what shit they are saying, they just stick together, and that just made them stronger. They help each other, and then they got richer and famous and more rich.
We're back to the Subaru made with love and the Jaguar made with transvestites versus the numbers and the statistics. They don't do anything and we don't care. It used to be you had to do something for us to care. You had to provide something.
But you also got to think that nobody really wants to do that job of nothing, just be the hot chick. And that whole family specced into that. Once they had enough money to self-perpetuate,
I don't think Chloe
they're
is
famous.
included as the hot chick.
Chloe's the hot chick?
No, she's not.
Oh, really?
Who's the hot chick?
She's hot now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, money can buy everything.
Oh, she had the work done.
Yeah, she had a lot of work done.
Kendall's the hot one.
Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, they are pretty.
Yeah.
So it's like they're pretty enough to keep this fame thing rolling. And then they got E on board at some point in their life. I don't know. It's really fascinating to see that they defied the odds. And they were the hot tour,
I think Kris Jenner is very smart.
Yeah.
The mom,
That's what I mean.
Momager, she's smart.
She had enough money to keep this fame industrial
The
complex
Bruce Jenner
rolling.
workout money, right? Bruce Jenner exercising money.
That and
it
then-
came with sex tape money.
Yep, sex tape money, and then but also before that, the dad had their biological father had a bunch of money.
The OJ money.
Exactly, OJ.
Do you think the mom willingly promoted the sex tape?
Yeah.
No, she did. That's like in the backdrop.
I see. I can't.
I know.
I can't bring myself to think that way. So I never believe it because I'm like, who would do that with their daughter? Come on. But you guys know.
She can turn a man
How do
into
you
a
know
woman,
that? How do we know?
She just she has a stomach. She just does.
No, there was some type of thing. What I'm talking about was there was some type of documentary or something where in the back, like they had a call of her casually referencing the Ray J tape. Like, oh yeah, well she negotiated that. The release of that with Wicked, I think, or one of those.
Right.
Yeah. So she was part of that. So.
All right, Joe, does that Trans Am thing exist? Because it's got to be online because I got the papers.
Yeah, a little bit confusing to me, but it says best lap time in 2017 for the Trans Ams, minute 20 seconds, but it says the average speed was 95 miles an hour. For the motorcycles, we said, what, 122 or something like that?
Yeah,
speed?
who was the guy who put it on that poll? Was that?
That was Drissi?
Tommy Drissi. Yeah, so Tommy Drissi won the race in a Corvette, and I came in third in a Corvette.
Yep.
And we're doing the same lap times basically through the race because he was the same distance in front of me. He's a good dude, by the way. Super nice guy. So
average speed, 95 miles an hour for you guys. Average speed of the motorcycles, 108. But same lap times.
Well, a little slower lap times. So then, how does that work? Because what it is, so here's how it'll work. The Corvettes will have a higher top speed on the straightaway, but slower a little through the corner. When people go, you average 95 miles an hour. Average 95, but there's 8 turns. You're turning a lot. There's slow turns on that track. So averaging 95 means you're hauling ass because you come down to 45 miles an hour on some of the turns. But then how do you average 108 and then
top 5 in your race all averaged in the 95 mile an hour zone? Guy who took 14th averaged 101. So there's I'm assuming there's crashes and
best lap probably. Maybe the guy came in 14th. What was his name?
Cook in a Camaro.
Oh, man. You know the best... the guy one is my dad. The guy came in second in that race. What was that guy's name? That's the guy one is my dad.
Wall.
Yeah. Wall's his last name, right? This guy's down at Willow Springs in the... he's down at Willow Springs in the high desert. And he's down there racing his AC Cobra, his Shelby Cobra in a vintage race. And he goes down there and they're doing the vintage race like on a Friday or Thursday, whatever. And then the pro Trans Am race is in the afternoon or whatever it is. And this dude comes in there and he's got his vintage Cobra. And he either crashes it or the engine blows up or something blows up and his week of racing is over. But instead of going home, he walks over to my pit area, big semi truck with the big awning and all the techs and all the scales and all the computers and the engine guys. And it's a big to do. And this guy like walks over and he goes, well, you got a backup car here? I'm driving the main car. And I guess they had a backup car. And he goes, what's it going to take to get in the backup car for the professional race? And they're like, $50,000. And he's like, all right, let's do it. And I'm like, and then he comes in second, one ahead of me and one behind me. Greasy.
Wow.
And I'm like, I want this. Can you imagine if this guy was your dad?
That's
Takes his fucking $1 million Cobra to do a race. The car breaks. But he still wants to race that weekend. So he walks over to a professional Trans Am team and he goes, what's it going to take? And like $50,000. Like, all right.
wow.
Let's do it. There's no prize money if you win the race.
Yeah.
You just wanted to race that weekend.
I hear you. That competitive spirit. I like that. You got the money,
energy.
Burn that money.
I guess he did, man. With that fucking guy. I want to fucking have a beer with that guy. We have some facts about Kris Jenner.
Kris Jenner said on the Late Late Show with James Corden that she did not promote the sex tape, and it was on lie detector, and she passed.
Oh, wow.
She did polygraph and passed. Ray J says that that she picked from 3 different sex tapes, watched them all, and picked the one that she wanted to promote.
That's what I heard.
I choose to believe the black man.
He always bet on black. Listen, all you have to do in this modern society is look around. Well, really, all you have to do is get divorced to just hear people lie and lie and lie. Like people now just lie. Like Jussie Smollett just got his case acquitted or whatever it is.
He did,
and he's sticking with he's with this story. He's with the same story. Like these fucking MAGA guys came out of the dark and got me in a headlock. We're just on. It's just on now in the lying department, right? It's Ray J. I don't know who it is.
But it was
Smollett.
me, though. It was me that got Smollett with my buddy.
Oh, you got him.
I got him, yeah.
You and your Nigerian buddy?
Yes.
All right. Everyone lies.
Yeah.
Everyone just lies all day, every day. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what to believe anymore because everybody just lies. That's it.
It was like that always, though, or maybe now we know because there's so many different point of view. Everybody can corroborate.
I don't think everyone lied this much.
It's not
into cameras, not into microphones. No, I don't think they did. I just don't. It's all out the window. Well, we used to have religion, and religion would prevent you from doing certain things. That's why we invented religion.
Only have lawyers and politicians lie. Now everybody lies because there's just so much.
Well, we're all politicians now because we all have to maintain an image on our social media.
Yeah, social media.
Oh, they don't care. You can go into court with them. They can be sworn in. They can talk about perjury. So God, so help me God, the truth, nothing but the truth.
I believe in Buddha.
Quiet.
God is not going to help me.
Oh, sorry. We shouldn't talk over each other. Is what I'm saying.
Sorry.
But go ahead. What were you saying?
I believe in Buddha. So if I say God help me, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, Buddha's over you?
Yeah. So
I only know him as an incense holder.
He's fat, so he likes to eat.
They used to have a lot of Buddha incense holders out here.
They used to.
Is that blasphemous? It wouldn't work with Allah.
Yeah.
They'd get angry.
Buddha, Buddha just eat and smile. He doesn't care. You can believe in whoever you want to believe.
Okay.
You want people to be happy and
Buddha.
eat. Just eat and be happy, and don't judge other people's religion.
So Kris Jenner took a polygraph test and passed. So I would tend to believe her more than Ray J.
Or she's just a sociopath. They can pass those real easy.
I guess. And she may be.
Or just popped out on pills, super Xanaxed out. Just completely calm heart rate.
I don't know what the batting average is on the lie detector. I think the lie detector is more about do people agree to take it or not. And when they don't agree to take it, that suggests a certain degree of guilt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we'd think differently about OJ if he was like, I'll take a lie detector. Yeah, I'll do it live on TV. Let's get it going. Like you'd go, oh, well, maybe he didn't kill his wife then, right? Mm-hmm. All right, Chris Meyer, the veteran sports anchor and broadcaster and guy I've been watching on TV for a million years, is going to join us via Zoom. I should give some plugs out. Ice House, Jiaoying is going to be there. That'll be December 5th, coming up. Stand-up comedy in Bellflower, by the way. It's called The Stand-Up Comedy Club. Is that what it's called in Bellflower?
Yeah.
I've never been there.
It's too small for you.
Oh, okay. That'll be, so are you, babe. That'll be December. That'll be December 21st. Where do we go, Jiaoying, for all your dates?
Summerscomedy.com.
Summers Comedy, not Jiaoying Summers.
It's the same thing. Go to the same one, but nobody can spell Jiaoying.
But that's what I'm saying. I think Summers
Comedy.com is.
All right. And comedy after Summers.
Yes.
All right. We'll take a break. Talk to Chris Myers, sports commentating legend, right after this. O'Reilly Auto Parts. They're in the business of keeping your car on the road. They offer friendly, helpful service and parts and knowledge that you need to maintain all the repairs and keep your car running smoothly. I've always been a fan of O'Reilly. I remember when I lived up in La Crescenta in my rented house with all my roommates, and I'd work on my Isuzu Trooper, and then later on my Toyota Supra. And I would go up to the O'Reilly up on Foothill. That's where I got all my know-how and I got all my parts. They've got thousands of parts and accessories in stock, either in the store or online, so you're never in a jam. The team at O'Reilly Auto Parts can test your battery for free, and they'll do it in or out of your car, so you can bring it in, or you don't have to pull it out of your car. They'll come out and do it in the parking lot. Need your windshield wipers replaced, brake light fix, quick service? They'll help you find the right part, or they'll point you to the nearest local repair shop for help. So whether you're a car aficionado or you're a novice, you get with O'Reilly Auto Parts. They're knowledgeable, they're helpful, and best of all, they are friendly, and you can do it online or you can go in. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit them at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam.
Here's a memorable moment from the Adam Carolla Show's Ace Awards archives.
Hey, I have a question. I see a lot of people sending us voice messages. Is there any way we can listen to those on the stereo app here?
Yeah, I think we can.
That'd be very interesting to me. There's a whole 30 messages according to my.
I don't know. Chris is saying something. I don't know what he's saying. If you're just tuning in, we are live coast to coast on stereo. Now, can we play one of these things?
Poop dildo! Oh. Never forget!
Oh, okay. Well,
right.
We can do it.
We got poop dildo. All right.
Now, for some new memorable moments, let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Chris Myers, legendary sportscaster and commentator, I should say, is via Zoom. He's joining us. That Deserves a Wow is the name of the book. It's available now, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and wherever you find finer books, because that was from my childhood. Good to see you, Chris.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to be on with you.
So you've been there, Super Bowls and NBA Finals and World Series and NASCAR, and seen it all. And the book chronicles some crazy sports stories, like the earthquake in San Francisco, the '89 World Series, OJ, the live cutting to the live chase, the Richard Jewell Atlanta Olympics bombing, and all that, and your perspective on it. So what is sort of the most compelling out of those for you?
Well, I mean, I got into it to do sports covering to be on the broadcast of a Super Bowl and so chasing down Tom Brady, right, after that great comeback when they beat Atlanta, and on the live interview in the moment those are special. When the Red Sox ended the World Series curse and came back against the Yankees, and to have covered that. But it's those unexpected moments. You just ran through some of them, and there were other moments along the way, having interviewed a range of athletes, Ali to Tyson. Ali was my first interview. I was a teenager, and his first radio interview at age 16. And, you can talk about Montana and Elway and Mahomes. But I think the one that people always talk about is the O.J. Simpson interview that you touched on, because it was the first live interview. I was doing the Up Close show out here in L.A. that Roy Firestone started. It was a half-hour one-on-one interview show, and it was the first live interview after both, not only the double murder trial, but the wrongful death suit where he was found liable and was supposed to have payment there. And I think he turned Barbara Walters down because she would only tape it. He was worried somebody would tape it and edit it and make him look guilty, believe it or not. But he wanted to come on here live because he thought I was fair. And there was some controversy about whether we should do it or not as a sports show, but we did it. And then that's one of the things that people talk about. And I kind of take a deeper dive into that, what he was like in and around that interview and afterwards, which tells you more about the kind of, guy he was, the kind of just believing in his own lie type of thing.
Yeah, he seemed really sociopathic and narcissistic in that it didn't bother him. And I thought he thought of himself as that way, at least from watching the docs I've seen on him. Hey, a quick technical question, because it was only bothering me the other night when I was watching Monday Night Football. You're up in the booth, and these announcers have the name of the guy as fast as the play is happening. The flanker that caught the quick look in, and the defender who was on top of him. And I'm like, they have spotters. They have to have spotters. Are they in your ear? Is it that fast? I mean, because it's really real time almost now.
Yes, and we do have spotters. Not only is there a producer in our ear to back us up, although he has other traffic, so to speak, or on the headset, but we have a board. I don't have one for the next game I'm doing, but it has all the numbers, colleges, height, weight. We put our own notes in, and then we have a spotter along with a stat guy who brings the stats up right away. But he's sitting there with binoculars and a pointer so that if I'm late to a guy or I tell you who made the catch, he'll point and tell you who made the tackle. Or if I'm having trouble finding out who recovered the ball, he can point to it. And so we've kind of got backups to backups. Now, you do have to memorize certain numbers when you do different games each week. But yes, we do have help calling that off. And some broadcasters in the booth, I don't have one necessarily, but they have their own editorial guy who hands them certain notes about history references when things come up, and they casually, this is their skill, Adam, they casually blend it in as if they were there or they remember it. But that's kind of the art of calling a game.
You ever have one of those spotters get drunk or go south and throw out a name like Dick Gobbler or something like that, just to Ron Burgundy you?
Right. No, but I have had. They don't have to be drunk to do it. They have been hung over a little. They have missed a day where they'll point, and I'm like, "Boy, if I can't rely on you, then go home, go away," type of thing. But in your ears, sometimes we do hear something. Well, some of the producers like to make a comment about a guy's neighbors that you could never say on the air, right, on a network broadcast. Yes. And if you hear a quiet chuckle, it means sometimes they'll give you a good line to use if you're not coming up with something. But when they do that, you got to edit yourself, especially in today's. Well, I guess we're not so much in a cancel era anymore, but it's always a fear when you're calling a game and you're live for 3 hours with all kinds of things going on and a guy with you, an analyst who may make remarks or comments as well.
Yeah, I think a Canadian commentator just got in trouble because he was talking about a female athlete, something about...
Oh, yeah, no, that was on the tennis channel. John Wertheim, who does 60 Minutes and who's a very good, obviously not only a writer, a sports writer, but he was making a comment off mic about some of the female players. I think it might have been their foreheads or something. Yes. And that got on the air, right? And he apologized quickly. I mean, it wasn't anything... obviously it was offensive, but I don't know. I don't think he's been fired over that. I think he did apologize. But you've got to always assume when you're in that booth, even before you're on, you got to assume the microphone is on or somebody's recording something on a satellite somewhere. I had a situation, Adam. I'm doing a game in Tampa where it's Buccaneers and it's 90 degrees. The booth's overheating, and because we leave the windows open, and I drink a lot of iced tea. I have one here, whatever. That's what I live on, the caffeine, right? So I was joking at a break. They're like, somebody, hey, you need a refill, and I held up what was left of the iced tea. I said, yeah, give me another bourbon. All right, it's going down well, something like that. Anyway, it was off the air. That somebody captured it, got on the air all of a sudden, all over the social media. Myers drinking during the game with bourbon. It didn't seem to impair him at all. So maybe that's why he has the boy. It was that test. So I learned my lesson there.
Well, I think famously Howard Cosell and maybe Dandy Don would have a pop or two on the Monday Night Football, especially during the winter in Buffalo kind of thing. I thought it made, like they go, oh, it's just bar talk or guys having a few beers and talking about, so he's having a few beers, having a conversation. I'm like, yeah, well, the beers act as a social lubricant sometimes. I would rather have Howard Cosell on a cocktail than a 10 a.m. totally sober Howard Cosell to listen to. But you interviewed Muhammad Ali as your first interview at 16?
Yeah, I got onto a radio station in Miami Beach, in the noble Arthur Godfrey Road, back in that area, where I used to call in as Chris from Miami, and then I would disguise my voice and call back as Duke from North Miami, and I'd get on the air more before I had my license. So they invited me down there one time, fan night before. And anyway, they hired me on weekends to do this. I thought they were going to tell me to beat it for not being as honest as I should have been. But anyway, the sports reporter behind the scene, the director couldn't make it, and he says, "Hey, can you real quick? We need you to go over to the Fontainebleau Hotel. Ali's training or having a press conference for a fight coming up, and take your tape recorder. Just ask some questions. We need to get it on the show, and I can't make it." So I had to leave my, I think it was humanities class for Hollywood. And I drove down there and stuck. I was in the 70s, had the long hair and the big, tape recorder. And I just, I asked them a question about, and there were all the old school writers, with the press hats, these seasoned journalists smoking cigars. But I just asked them something about the fight. And it was something like, hey, you're not as dumb as you look, kid. And he went on to answer. He was nice to me, although I was, I don't know if my question was all that good, but it was a cool thing for the first interview. And so I kind of thought after that, boy, this is something I really would like to do. And coming from a big family, always interviewing people, a fan of Johnny Carson, watching his show growing up, later meeting him, which was a cool moment. So that was kind of the first taste of it. And so I won't say never, but I didn't want to be intimidated by famous athletes when I at least wanted to talk to them. So that was a kick. When I look back on it at the time, Adam, I didn't realize, he's the greatest, but you realize the magnitude of an interview like that.
So is this like 79, 78?
Yeah. In that ballpark. I'm a little older than you. You made it sound like you've been watching me forever, but we're in the same ballpark.
Well, you started at 15 and a half. Give me a break. So Ali's getting ready to fight. Who was he getting ready to fight?
I don't remember offhand. It's in the book because it was, and I wish I had because they put it on a reel-to-reel tape, and I saved a lot of that stuff when I was going back to piece this together. But it was not a big name. But Ali at the time was such a story that whoever he was fighting. But he used to train at the Fifth Street Gym with Angelo Dundee down in their Miami Beach. So right. So it wasn't too far from where I grew up.
How'd you get Bill Murray? What's the Bill Murray connection for the forward?
Yeah, and there's other stories about him in there. Some humorous, some are where he helped me out in situations. A very tender, sensitive side of Bill. I got to know him. I've known him for 30 years. Early 90s, was on the first or second ESPY Awards. Doing that I was at ESPN 10 years before Fox Sports, and we kind of hit it off. Big family, a very astute sports fan, obviously sense of humor. I really admire comics growing up just like interviewers. So we hung out a little bit, went to a baseball game and golfed at his charity event, and then stayed in touch. And he did the funny story there. I was in New York, in Manhattan, covering something for the company, ESPN at the time. And it was an off day. And so he said, "Why don't you come up to the house over on the Hudson River, his place?" I said, "Bill, I don't have a car and I only have part of the day." He's like, "I'll send a car for you. Just come by and say hi." So he sends his giant white stretch limo, and I get in, and it drives me. And as I'm pulling into his driveway, he's video recording as I step out. He says, "Hey, this is how ESPN, this is how Chris spends per diem. Don't fall for it. He lives a life of luxury. That kind of stuff." So, and then since then, we would stay in touch. Got to know his brothers. They're all fun people. And there's a side of him. He's not easy to get a hold of, but he says he does something, he'll do it. And I really appreciated not only him writing that, but just the friendship over the years. He's the kind of guy I'd want to hang out with, even if he wasn't famous.
Yeah, I was watching for some reason National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation or something last night, and I forgot that Bill Murray's brother played the boss of Chevy Chase in that movie, and that his brother did a lot of acting. I don't know if there's a third brother that does acting. There's Doyle Murray, I guess.
Right. Yeah, there's Brian Doyle Murray, who's big on Caddyshack, kind of the co-writer, and does a lot of animated voices. You'll hear him on the old reruns of that. Yeah. And then there's Joel Murray, he was briefly on Suits and a few other sitcoms. And what's that thing? Whose Line Is It Anyway? He used to do some of that stuff, I think. And then John Murray, the younger one. It's a big family. So, but they're all fun. They're all very creative, and they're all again fun to hang out with. That was one of the things I learned. And Adam, you'll relate to this since the age range. There was a movie in the I don't know if you remember this movie. It went great. It was called Perfect with Travolta. John.
Yes. Yes.
Right. And there's a line in there about. It's talking about being intimidated with famous people, and I forget how it was said, but something along the line.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes, there you go. And they say, there you go. When she was hot, right? And they say, no offense, that he learned to treat a famous person, or she says it, a famous person like a regular person, and the regular person like a famous person, and that works out to get people comfortable to talk. So that kind of stuck with me when I was younger about doing interviews in those situations. Even when I first met Bill Murray, just like the Muhammad Ali interview.
Perfect is quietly one of the most 80s movies ever.
Yeah.
And
how about the workout clothes?
Yeah. It's insane that for like a 4-year period in this country's history, we became completely obsessed with aerobic workout, jazzercise, whatever. And right. I get it. It's good looking women wearing tight fitting stuff, but to be like taken over like a tsunami. There's a video series called like a 5-minute workout. It had the women on a turntable doing all kinds of positions and kicks. They made a movie about jazzercise. Like I mean, I get it. Like some people lift, some people row, some people take hot yoga, but we didn't all just become obsessed with one form of exercise that wasn't even really, it's essentially running in place.
Yeah.
I didn't even know really what it was. And it became very important. And everyone was very earnest about it.
Yeah.
And that movie, 83, 82?
I think 85, mid-80s, but remember the headband. You had to have
the headband. You had to have the leggings. You had to have the leg warmers, but they're really just shin warmers. It's 80 degrees inside the club, and you're running in place for an hour. What do you need warm shins for?
You're right.
What did the shin warmers do for you?
It popped up, and they would pop up like in these malls in the corner or whatever, these strip malls, and all of a sudden there's an aerobics place or whatever you want to call it, the jazzer and the clothes. Yeah, it was a serious trend. I don't know why that stuck with me. Maybe just I was lonely and flipping through and saw the movie or something.
85.
It was 85. Okay.
It was like John Travolta is a Rolling Stone reporter. And he's got to infiltrate a jazzercise class and talk to the hottest chick on the planet. Who's all 80s movies were about attitude.
Yeah.
She had a lot of attitude. He had a lot of attitude. At some point, love would be found.
Yeah. And I don't think they, Adam, not to interrupt, but I don't think they sweated a lot when I saw those. Yeah.
I think there would be a little spray sweat on, fake sweat, where it kind of beads up in a weird way. Nobody sweats that way, that evenly. You got a little missed shot from the makeup department before the close-up with the conversation about being the best. And also, it was a lot about being the best. The best what? Jazzercise dancer? Like runner and placer? Like aerobics? I got to see the trailer now.
Now I was just saying, you're making me want to.
I want to see.
Is that like the pickleball of now? I mean,
yes,
is that kind of,
yes, yeah. Except for I would say that it was even more inclusive because pickleball doesn't have a sexy connotation to it. It has kind of an elderly connotation to it, whereas the aerobics class were just super hot chicks with tons of attitude wearing leg warmers. I don't know. Let's watch it.
Oh, you got something.
I think we got the clip.
Right.
I'm glad I met you. I'm sorry I met you.
I'm glad that you're glad you met me. But I'm sorry that you're sorry you met me.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
I would gladly take one of your aerobic classes if you let me interview you.
I was really beginning to like you, too.
Good-looking people.
How many times a year do you fall in love, Adam?
Depends on the subject.
Oh, yeah. A lot of thrusting.
Here's a report of the Rolling Stone, working on 2 different stories.
I don't think you understand. I might want you to be the focus of my story.
She's one of them.
I don't think you understand. I don't want to be the focus of anything.
Yeah.
The only problem is she doesn't want to cooperate, but she will.
It should be called dry humping,
Yeah, the
right?
pelvic thrust is too
I got a
much.
plane to catch.
There's the headband.
Yeah.
The government could put pressure on you, too. They could send you to jail.
I'm going to watch
It's a
this.
risk I'll have to take, isn't it?
I read that shit you wrote about me.
My only explanation is everyone was high on coke. That's the only reason we made these movies, right? Everyone?
The only line I took from that was about famous, treating people famous.
All right. I'm watching this.
Funny stuff.
I'm
Speaking
going
of
to watch
movies,
this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, and if I get it, I can just shamelessly plug the book because it's about sports. But if you took the movie, and I know you can read Almost Famous, right, which was one of my favorites, the Cameron Crowe, and you took a little bit of Forrest Gump and you combine those with a sports theme, that's kind of what, at least I didn't have that in mind, but somebody brought that up when we were talking about there to cover certain sporting events, and then other things happen. So you're placed around some, interesting, famous people, whether it's a Tyson or an Ali or whatever, or some of those type of things. But I had Mike Tyson fought recently, Adam, and it's funny, I had a near a beat up experience with him when I interviewed him when he first got out of prison. This was probably early 2000, where I went to his house to interview him, and I was going through Sports Illustrated covers, having him talk about his career. And when I got to the Holyfield ear biting, he flipped out and he lunged at me and he called and said I was trying to provoke him. He's cussing me. He got this close to my face, and he has a swimming pool of it. But thankfully, one of the guys he trains with and his bodyguard quickly hooked him and got him before he snapped me in half. And I just, the cameras were on. I just said, hey, we'll just, if you don't want to answer, just tell me and we'll leave. And he's like, no, stay, I'll finish. And then he wanted to give me a tour of the house. And it was a weird moment that I talk about in the book, because watching him fight the other night, which I thought was kind of sad, but hey, if people want to do that, fine. But those are the kinds of things, you're placed in those situations, and you think you're in sports to have fun, and they pop up, which is a little scary, but it was worth the interview.
Tyson, I went to his home and interviewed him once as well.
Yeah. How'd that go?
He didn't try to attack me, but I did have a funny conversation. I remember a very funny conversation. I said, Mike, you seem to be like sort of in better spirits and more positive, but he has had times when he looks like an old blues singer who's 70 years old, and then you'll see him again and he's light on his feet, and he has like a different attitude and a different headspace. So anyway, I said to him, what's the difference now? And he goes, I'm sober now. I don't do anything. And I go, oh, so you don't drink? He goes, I don't drink. And I go, no Coke? No Coke. No pills? No. Nothing. No pot? And he goes, wait a minute. And I was like, it was like literally out of a sitcom, So I think he's more California sober, as they call it. I was thinking about that Brady win against Atlanta, who's never won a Super Bowl and may have cursed themselves not to win one for another few decades, and the way they lost that game and how they could have won that game so easily. But really, when I think about it, I think about the Patriots winning the coin toss and how that game ended how the Super Bowl ended without the other team touching the ball. which seemed like a bad idea, but it also was very Patriots at the time. When a team gets on a roll, they not only control what they control, but they win the battles they can't control. The coin tosses, the tuck rules, like magically, for a team to be a dynasty, they need to get a little pixie dust and have the coin tosses and the tuck rules and other things go their way. Other teams make mistakes, bad calls. Like, doesn't it seem like it's not just X's and O's for the dynasties? There has to be a little magic.
Yeah, no, it's a great, and I think we've seen it with the Kansas City Chiefs and Mahomes, right? We're not taking away because they're prepared and they're talented, but you're right. There's little things, and that's what I noticed in that game on that sideline at halftime, and having worked that, and then Bill Belichick, being as stoic as he is, or at least as difficult to chat with, but that they didn't. We overuse panic in sports, but they kind of, there was a calm, even when it was 28-3 here, and we're getting into the second half. But the point to follow up, Adam, as they do their thing, these teams to have it does force the other team. They start to react differently. It's like, they're good. Here we go again. Or they're so good that if we make this mistake, they're going to take advantage. And they do. And that's a trait of sports teams, whether it's baseball, basketball, or in this case, the NFL, yes, to have success at the highest level and keep it going. That's what you have to have. I think things fall into place.
Yeah, I was, recently KC lost to a very good Buffalo Bills team, but they have, in the dynasty magic department, they're the ones now winning the coin tosses and getting the calls and having, I guess you just call it sort of momentum meets pixie dust. But that's what it takes to be a dynasty. And Belichick is weird because now all of a sudden Belichick's kind of a chatty Cathy with a 24-year-old gymnast girlfriend, like he starts off like George Foreman and he ends up like George Foreman. George Foreman was menacing, man, a few words, let his fist do the talking, scowl, bad mood. Then he became everyone's sort of gregarious uncle, and he's selling grills and laughing and eating cheeseburgers and stuff, I would say that Belichick is kind of going the George Foreman arc here, wouldn't you?
Interesting comparison, but I do agree that he went from a guy, look, he was very, very good at his job, right? Hall of Fame credentials, the Super Bowl, but he wasn't easy to be around to interview him or to talk to him. He didn't show a lot of personality outwardly. And then he retires, he's in his mid-70s or forced to retire because he still wants to coach and break Don Shula's all-time record. But he's turned into this. I mean, he's enjoyable to watch, not only talk football, but a sense of personality, a sense of humor. His knowledge comes out. And there's a couple other guys, there are people like that. Bob Knight did that. He was rough on the media, but then, of course, when TV came around, he did that. So, it's interesting that Belichick, because everybody said, if you know him and he likes to go to concerts and he's fun this way, and I'm like, boy, I just over, covering all his Super Bowls through the years, haven't seen it. But maybe we're seeing it now. But he still wants to coach again, and he may get a chance, at least with all the jobs that'll be opening up.
Could it? I don't mean to pick on Belichick, but it was always the question, is it Brady, is it Belichick? Who's responsible for all these wins? And then at some point, Brady goes to Tampa Bay, and it's like, well, I guess now we're going to find out. And Brady gets a ring over there at Tampa Bay, and the Patriots fall off quite greatly. And so it did seem to hurt Belichick's, tarnish him to some degree. And I don't think it could have gone any worse for Belichick if he was if he was being magnanimous, he'd go, well, Brady can go to Tampa, have a couple of 500 seasons, maybe make the first round of the playoffs before they get beat, and I'll go 10-7 over here, and we'll call it a day. But him winning a Super Bowl and them really falling off a cliff over New England, that had to hurt the legacy a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think it did. In fact, Bill Belichick, the inside story goes from the Patriots is that Belichick was trying to move on from Brady a little earlier, as they did so often with other players who were very talented and great contributors, but got to a certain age. But Brady outlived all that to be the greatest quarterback of all time. And to me, yeah, maybe Belichick wins a Super Bowl or two without Brady. But Brady did win one without him, on all of those with him. So I mean, he was absolutely the difference maker in that regard. I don't think there's any question about that.
What's Belichick got to get to Don Shula's record?
He's not that far away. I think he can do it in 2 seasons if he has a pretty good team. And it's the all-time win record. And Don Shula, may he rest in peace, who had the only perfect season, right, winning a Super Bowl, was not, he was not real happy with Belichick, the way some of the rules, the spying incident, nothing was ever really proven. But he thought that Belichick went a little bit beyond what the game allowed at times. I had to interview Belichick, just like Brady after winning. I had Belichick, remember their perfect season when they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Giants, one of the 2 losses to the Giants. And I had that sideline, and I thought they were going to win. I mean, because they were the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they're required after, at least with the network broadcast, to do an interview, and you try to get them live right away, respectfully, even in defeat as opposed to victory, like I had with Brady. But he didn't want to do it. I mean, he was almost like, and I'm going to play therapist for a moment and not to pick on him, but it was almost like the kid, the little league kid who wins every game as a pitcher, and and then he suffers his first defeat. And he doesn't know how to act. I mean, that's how Bill was. People thought he was rude. I just felt he was kind of shocked and one-word answers in that interview. I think you can see it on YouTube, just like the OJ interview or whatever, if you want to check it out. But I talk a little bit about that in the book. So sometimes it's difficult, whether guys have kind of been grumpy or not. You try to respect their space, but you got to ask the questions in the situation that the viewers want.
Yeah, I mean, that game was so improbable, and the Patriots were going for a perfect season and were, I was going to say, seemed unbeatable. They were unbeatable. They'd run the table, and they looked dominant. And the Giants started off 0-2, almost 0-3 that season, if not for a goal line move. And Eli Manning seemed about half the quarterback of Brady at that stage. And when they won that game, it was miraculous. And I was over at Jimmy Kimmel's house, and I may have had a couple beers, but it was with Steve Wozniak was there.
Oh, yeah.
And handing out $3 bills that he made or something, telling me I could spend them if I needed to legally. I questioned it. Kathy Griffin, all the usuals are there, but they weren't sports fans. There were a bunch of Kathy Griffin, Sarah Silvermans, Wozniak, sitting around. I mean, the Giants won that game. Again, I had a buzz, but I just stood up and I yelled, "What the fuck is wrong with all you people? You should be going nuts. You should be going nuts right now. Nuts. You hear me? Not talking amongst yourselves. Going insane. This is insane what just happened." And it really was.
It was a major, but there's a lot, Super Bowl parties have become that in a lot of ways. I'm not knocking the diehards who are fantasy league or follow their team. And I know Giant fans were euphoric over that, but it's funny that when I'm not working and I get to go to a Super Bowl party, how many people just say, "Yeah, there's a game on, I'm here for the party," kind of a thing. It's like, wow, are you watching this game? These, when the Eagles upset the Patriots and, the Philly special. I mean, those moments, right? You're like, I didn't work that game, and I'm flipping out on people like, well, he did score, but the last guy scored. I'm like, yeah, it's not the same thing. But anyway.
Listen, if you throw a Super Bowl party and somebody identifies the team by the color, or which one's the blue team, out. Get out. Here's some nachos. Cup your hands. I'll put some chips in your hands, and I'll dump a little Velveeta on top of it, and you can stand out in the porch and think about what you just said. How about that? Shula, 328 in the win department. Belichick, 302. So he's going to need 3 seasons.
So 26. You're right. So he'll need to break it, right? He didn't want to tie it.
He's going to need 27 wins. Right.
Yeah.
So he's going to need 3 seasons. He makes the playoffs and what have you. And I guess that's going to count playoffs, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's regular season wins and playoffs, so the combined stat, I think that one's just the regular season total.
Oh, okay.
But I think the question, too, is, does Belichick, because the Falcons were close to hiring him before hiring Raheem Morris, and the people in the organization, wow, wait a minute, he'll want total control and not even let the owner do what he wants. That kind of stuff surfaced. But maybe Bill takes a step back and look, there's some the Dallas Cowboys, there's a lot of desperate teams out there that may make coaching changes. Two of them already have, with the Saints and the Jets for this point of the season. So I think if Bill's not worried about money and he just wants to get in there, and if he has a quarterback, that could change things dramatically. So it'll be interesting to watch which owners really go for that and make that move to give him that chance to coach again.
Yeah, well, now that he's got a 24-year-old gymnast girlfriend waiting for him at home, do not expect the all-nighters in the office, and we get there at 5 in the morning, and we don't get out of there until 10 that night. No, he's going to be a little more eager to head out of the office and get back to the house. Chris, always a fan. What a dream. I mean, you basically wanted to do this from Jump Street, and it's essentially all you've ever done with your life, which is a pretty damn good life, I would assume.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm grateful because you have a dream and you get to live it and enjoy it and evolve as things change. You have to stay with it in the business, but it's been fun. I still am a fan at heart. Love talking to people, so it doesn't get old, and still doing it, and hope to kind of ride off into the sunset, either covering or talking about sports and the people in it.
Well, it can definitely be, the people who play sports, they're out by 31 and a half, but the people who talk about sports, they make it till their mid-90s, which is ironic because it's like there's such a crazy gap. The people who roof are out when they're 65, but the people who talk about roofers are out when they're 65 too. But this is the guys who play the sports, 26 and a half is when they go, and Vin Scully makes it till he's 97 years old, and
do people talk about roofers?
I do. I like roofers.
Only when you're getting an estimate. When you're getting an estimate, I want to talk to everyone.
You're right. Maybe not the greatest example, but I'm saying.
Well, I knew where you were going with that. But the age, you're right. The age range is, and it's we're fortunate in the business to have that. I don't know if I want to be that long, but people say retire, enjoy it. I enjoy it now. I mean, I'm a fan. I would want to watch or go to the games or talk to the people. So that's something I think the true people in our business. They say follow your passion, but follow your talent too, because your talent will take you towards having a job. So many other people would have loved to have done this, but things didn't fall right for them. You do need a little luck along the way, and I do dedicate the book to the people I've worked with and for, because as you know, so many people behind the scenes and in whether it's production or helping to cover things, they help you do your job, and you couldn't do it without them.
The book That Deserves a Wow, available right now, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and wherever you find finer books. Chris Myers, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, anytime. Great talking to you. Always laugh and enjoy your show. See you, Adam.
Thanks, Chris. Come back anytime.
Bye-bye.
You don't need anything to plug. Come back and say hi. All right, let's see. Me, Oxnard, Levity Live, doing stand-up. That'll be Friday, 7 o'clock, and then Houston at the Arena Theater up there with Craig Shoemaker and Kayvon. That'll be December 6th. And then Phoenix, Hilton Phoenix, Tapatio Cliffs Resort. Supposed to be pretty amazing. To be doing stand-up there with Craig Shoemaker. That'll be December 7th. Go to AdamCarolla.com for all the live shows. Until next time, it's Adam Crow for Chris Myers and Jiaoying Summers and Mayhem. Say it. Mahalo.